Thanks for making time to listen to this podcast English lesson. I'm so happy that you've made up your mind to improve your English. And yeah, everyone's really busy these days, but somehow you make it work. That's awesome!
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 869. Fun and casual phrases with make. Hello and welcome. And thanks for joining me for another episode of the Happy English Podcast. Today, we're going to look at some everyday fun and totally practical phrases using the verb make. Now, make is a super flexible verb. We all know that you can make coffee or make dinner, but in casual conversation, we use make in a bunch of idioms and expressions that go way beyond the kitchen. So, today we're going to break down 5 super useful and natural phrases. Make it work, make time, make up your mind, make a mess, and make do. And I'll give you a few examples of each, all woven into real-life situations so you can see how native speakers actually use them. Sound good? Let's dive in. First up is make it work. Make it work. When you say you're gonna make it work, it means you'll find a way to succeed or fix a situation even if it's not ideal or perfect. Like yesterday, I was supposed to record another podcast in the morning, but my internet was down. So I recorded it on my phone in the car. Not perfect, but hey, I made it work. Or my friend Josh told me that he and his girlfriend have totally different schedules, but they really care about each other, so they're trying to make it work. They do the best they can to see each other, even though their situation isn't ideal. And when one of my students said, I only have 10 minutes a day to study, I told her, that's fine. You don't need 2 hours a day. Just use the time you have and make it work. So yeah, make it work means figure it out and get it done, even if it's not the perfect or ideal way to do something. Just do it. Make it work. In a similar way, we have make do. To make do means to manage with what you have, even if it's not ideal. Like when my friend Tom got laid off, he and his wife had to make do on her salary. So they ate at home and canceled things like their Netflix subscription until he was back working. They made do. And I remember back when I was in college, I didn't have a blender, so when I wanted to have a smoothie, I just mashed fruit with a fork. Not great, but hey, I made do. Or like last week, I forgot my umbrella and got caught in the rain. So I made do with a newspaper over my head. It wasn't pretty, but I didn't get completely soaked. Here's one more. We only had instant coffee at the Airbnb, but we made do. So if things aren't perfect, but you find a way to survive, you make do. Next, you can make time. This is a really common phrase. To make time means to create space in your schedule or in your day for someone or to do something, even if you're busy. That's making time. Like, one of my students asked me to help with TOEIC. So even though I'm a bit swamped this month, I'm going to make time to check her homework. And I remember back in the day when I worked in the language school. As the manager, I often needed to make time to help students and even staff when they needed help. Like, if someone fits you into their busy schedule, you can say something like, "Hey, thanks for making time to meet me for coffee today." That's a polite yet friendly way to say, "I appreciate you fitting me into your schedule." So, when something matters to you, you make time. I have a really busy work week, but on the weekend I always make time to study Japanese and to play the guitar. Yeah, I decided to do that. I made up my mind to do that. Make up your mind. This phrase means to decide something or to decide to do something. If someone says, "Come on, make up your mind," they're telling you to stop thinking and just choose something. Like the other day, I spent like 5 minutes in front of the vending machine trying to decide between iced tea and black coffee. Finally, I was like, just make up your mind. I went with the tea. Or my friend Emma was going back and forth about whether to quit her job. One day she said yes, the next day no. So I told her, "Look, it's your life, but at some point, you've got to make up your mind." And here's one more. Have you made up your mind about where you're going on vacation yet? This is how we ask someone if they've made a decision. So, if you hear this phrase, make up your mind, you know someone's talking about choosing something. The last one is make a mess. Now, this one does have a literal meaning, but we also use it for non-physical things. Yes, of course, you can say like, "The kids made a mess in the kitchen," or "My dog Rosie made a mess when she destroyed a sofa cushion." But you can also say something like, "I really made a mess of that presentation." It means I screwed up. It didn't go well. Or, "Danny made a mess of his relationship by not being honest and cheating on his girlfriend. He made such a mess, she left him." So in casual conversation, make a mess doesn't always mean spilled milk. It could be a situation that got messy. So remember, physical mess, emotional mess, job mess, make a mess works for all of it. Well, there you have it. 5 fun and casual make phrases that native speakers use all the time. Let's recap. When you make it work, you find a solution even if it's not ideal. When you make do, you manage to get by with what you've got. When you make time, you create space in your schedule for someone or to do something, like to study English. When you make up your mind, you decide something. And when you make a mess, you create disorder, either physically or emotional. And now you can use these phrases and sound more natural. Well, thanks for making time to listen to this podcast English lesson. Keep in mind the best way to remember English like this, and any other word or phrase in English, is to take that word or phrase, write it in a sentence that's true for you or true in your world, and then memorize your sentences. And remember to check out my AI tutor. It's a great way to practice your English, get answers and more 24/7. And it's all free. There's a link in the description where you are listening to this podcast right now. Check it out. And if you like it, leave me a thumbs up there. And if you really want to speak English better and feel good about your English, you should join my Podcast Learners Study Group. I meet with a small group of English learners like you each week where we practice these podcast lessons together. It's a lot of fun and everyone is really improving. You can too. To learn more, just visit myhappyenglish.com and choose podcast lesson 869. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible, and I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.